Hi, I'm Brian with Grand Arbor Supply. I'm here today with Corey Elder from Elder Tree Service. Corey, why don't you show the audience some useful knots that every ground worker should know?
Sounds good. How about we start with the bowline, which is this.
And what's the advantage of a bowline knot?
A bowline is very easy to untie once it's been loaded. So if you're using it to pull something or lower something, you can usually untie it very easily. It's a pretty simple knot to tie. Make your little loop, come under, around, and back through. Set and dress. That's always important.
And you always can see the horseshoe here, so you know you
Yep.
have it tied right. And correct me if I'm wrong, but the tail should always be on the inside of the loop,
Correct. Yep. I believe if it's on the outside, they call it an anti-bowline.
I've been guilty of tying anti-bowlines.
I don't. That's an anti-bowline.
Excellent.
And then
And what's the next one beyond the bowline?
you would use a running bowline, which is basically a bowline tied around your rope. So you can do that. And then it allows it to cinch tight. So for rigging applications, it'll stay put. You can rig a piece down.
So in a simplistic situation, even if you just needed to put a tag line in a rope, you could install a running bowline from the ground without leaving the ground.
Yep, absolutely. You set it with the throw line, tie it on the ground, and pull it up and cinch it. Or if you were up through your line up through the canopy, and say you're pulling a tree over, we'll pretend this line's up over a limb. You can tie that same knot. Didn't give myself much room. But now you can cinch it down and you're up and over and ready to pull a tree over. Something to be aware of though, it's not approved for life support unless it's backed up. So never climb on a bowline unless you have it backed up. It can walk as you load and unload it.
Excellent safety feature.
Yeah.
Good to know. Let's turn this around and keep the sharp edges of this cable demonstration away from our rope.
What else can we tie? So a sheet bend is kind of the next step, I guess.
And where would you use a sheet bend? Why would a ground worker need to know this?
If you have a climber up in the tree and climber needs a rig line, so you're going to attach, we'll call this our rig line. This is our climber's line. You can attach it, and a sheet bend can be tied very similar to a bowline. And now you could send that up the tree to your climber. And when this part gets to the climber, he just undoes it, and now he's got rig line, his climb lines.
So it's very secure, but yet it's easy for the climber to detach for use up in the tree.
So you can also make it slippery by leaving the tail out. So when you pull it, it just comes out.
Excellent.
Another one, variation, I'm not sure if this is called a sheet bend or not, but you're going to take a loop here, take it around, bring this back over and through the loop. Just kind of snug everything up, set and dress it, and that will also stay nice and secure. But when you pull it, it doesn't get tangled up in the other rope. So your climbers like that because they don't want to hassle around too much with tangled ropes and stuff or in the tree. So
sure. So we have the bowline, the running bowline for rigging applications.
Yep.
We have the sheet bend, the various variations of the sheet bend for the ground worker to send a line up to the climber in the tree.
Yep.
Excellent. Any other good knots for a ground worker to know?
Probably the other one that would be really good to know is the Alpine Butterfly. It's a good midline knot. It can be loaded in either direction. When I tie it, I'll take 3 wraps around my hand, take the furthest one out, bring it over, next one, bring it over, push it through everything, kind of pull it through, set it and dress it. Should be symmetrical, ears on both sides. And then similar to the bowline, it can load quite a bit and still be pretty easy to untie. You can break it by pushing the ears over and just pulling everything apart.
And what would be a good application or use of the Alpine Butterfly in the field?
Climbers will use it to cinch their system up in the canopy. So if that were up in the tree and we're gonna cinch it up in the tree, we would take our 3 loops, 1, 2, pull that one through, set it, press it, and then pull that up and it will cinch. And then you could climb from that or use it to pull.
For a redirect, for example.
For a redirect, we use it often for a primary climb system, canopy anchor, and then you can retrieve it, pull it down, and it's easy to untie.
Well, I really appreciate your time today, Corey. Thanks
You're welcome.
for stopping in.
Thanks for having me.
Great.